Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in. Today, we're going to be looking at Cardano and its valuations against Bitcoin. If you do like this video and the other videos that I make on this channel, be sure to hit the like button down below and also consider subscribing. Cardano is down about maybe 10%, 10.5% against Bitcoin this week. It's on a recent downtrend. I mean, from the local high, it's down roughly 30%. But it seems that this argument for an accumulation seems to be playing out. Sorry about that. We see that this is the second time we've reached this local high. The last time was in September and October, and now we're at the second time of it being at this lower bound range. Nothing really has changed with Cardano. And I think as Cardano is an altcoin, it is subject to the whim of Bitcoin and also just, how altcoins generally behave. The important part to take note is I think we really need to hold this accumulation phase here. Like this, at the very least, needs to hold. Cardano needs to continue to stay in this bound here. If it doesn't, then we are at risk of coming back down to this level. Now, for any of you who wanted to accumulate more Cardano, I mean, that might be good for you. And in the long run, it probably might net you a very good return. But we want to see at least some kind of progression with the coin. Uh, if it's just a matter of waiting for years until it reaches to the points of anywhere remotely close to like January 2018, then uh, I don't know. I feel like that's too much time spent on a coin that's just moseying around. We would like to see some kind of progression. Now, if this is an accumulation phase, then this is potentially a good buying area. We're not at the highs that we were back in the summer anymore. We're back at a more reasonable level. We're accumulating, we're loading up until the next leg up of Cardano. And I mean, it could be, again, I believe I've done this before, where um, essentially, if we flip this, it's quite similar in its nature if we flip it. Now, this is by no means any kind of prediction. Like I wouldn't trust this, but I think it's quite interesting that Cardano seems to be mirroring itself. We saw in reverse this move up, this back down, this accumulation phase here until the next move up, right? And then price accelerates. We see something similar when we flip it. We see this move up, this back down into this accumulation phase. It comes back out, ready for the next run, comes back down, and then ultimately shoots up because of volatility. So that's something to keep in mind. And if we do see what I think is to be an accumulation phase of the next leg up, this could very well be how it would look like. This is just a helpful visual tool to see what that might look like. Obviously, it could play differently if we come back down to these to the levels of like 550 sats or 450 sats. Then we'll take a look at the chart then. But at this time, Cardano seems to be holding. Um, one case to say that it would break this and come back even further is uh, looking at the state of altcoins right now, what is happening with XRP. As I said in my previous video of Bitcoin dominance, whether you like it or not, XRP was the third largest cryptocurrency on the market. It has a massive market cap in comparison to Cardano and other altcoins. And because of that, I think it does have a profound effect on altcoins when it makes major moves like this. It's going to affect the outside altcoin market. And you can argue to some degree also that the SEC's filing against Ripple, or against Ripple, for it to be a security. Charles Hodgkins also mentioned this in his video. If you watched it, I recommend you take a look at it, where it seems the SEC is going to target Ripple, bet the family farm on it, that this will set, if they win, if the SEC wins, then it will set precedent for future targets on other crypto industries or cryptocurrencies. Now it seems like Ethereum and Bitcoin are safe in that matter, but Cardano could be one. It changes the game on how the SEC can target cryptocurrencies that use staking. It brings up the question of staking and sorts like that, which would definitely affect Cardano. So you can see you can kind of rationalize why the whole market is taking a beating like this, because it potentially will affect them in the future if the SEC if the lawsuit from the SEC v Ripple goes terribly on the side of Ripple, then the fear is that this will have a profound effect on cryptocurrencies in general. So that is one argument to say this comes down in the short term. And this is where I would argue that there's potentially a disconnect. This lawsuit's going to take a long time. It's going to take a year, 2 years, and Ripple's not going to. I doubt Ripple is just going to roll over. They're very capable. They have a lot of capital to throw around, and I'm sure that they're not going to go down without a fight. And so we're talking about a decision that's going to be made in a year or two at the very least. And then correlating that to this week's price action of Cardano, or this week's price action of altcoins in general, I would say there's potentially a disconnect there. And because of that, yeah, I would say that that's a misnomer, and it's more so just continuation of this accumulation. And if it does break down, it does. It just means that we were bound to go there anyway. But that's essentially what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye.